Ugh, stop pausing. Oh, God. Triggered. So triggered. God, there's nothing worse than a team that pauses every single, like, 10 seconds, guys. That is just the worst. Well, they do take down the Lich. They do take down the Legion Commander. It looks like she, I think, did get the duel win on the Tusk there. Should have done it. And Infamous, I guess, to some degree, rally and make a team fight happen. But, like, they lose their CK. It's probably not worth it because of the dual damage swing. And if there was different casualties, like if they took down the Death Prophet with that, or the Clinks, that would have been pretty nice, but not quite good enough. Those were really nice shards from the Tusk, though. Ended up buying a lot of time for his allies to get into play. Seems like Midas Club kind of thought the Tusk was alone, so they didn't really want to overcommit their spells, kill him off fast, so they took it slow and got kind of punished. If they were able to kill him off, like, instantly, then they probably could have either made a clean retreat or have focused their spells on heroes that were more threatening in that situation. Again, I'm pretty sure they're going to be crying all the way to the bank. BKB is coming up on the Clinks and Death Prophet will be up shortly. Once that happens, Infamous have 0 game. CK is okay versus BKB targets, but if they have any sort of movement speed, like, he will struggle to actually stay on his targets, despite the amount of damage he's able to do. AA drops a sentry, and he will run into the worst possible hero right now. There is no cold feet here. There is no escape. I challenge you, AA, to a duel. Winner, winner. 50 damage Legion. There is Exorcism up. Clinks, where is he at? He's coming in. Still a little bit off that BKB. But no AA Ice Blast, and that's the vast majority of Infamous' team fight right now. They're gonna, yeah, you can see the line is drawn by the AA. Someone split push bottom because this tower is lost. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, but that's not really going to be putting them in a winning position anytime soon. Ice is coming in. He'll hit onto arms, probably. We can see how much he cares. He's taking tower aggro, takes the Ice Blast, doesn't even flinch. Tower will be claimed. And now Midas, they are just on the warpath. 6k head only in the net worth isn't really, like, that much. Like, it's something that a team should be able to recover from. It's just the fact that Infamous fights have been just so incredibly sloppy. Like, there's been one fight that has had the CK with the rest of the team. All the other ones have just been CK off doing his own thing, or OD off doing his own thing, and everyone else just trying to defend without them. Spooky Clink's gonna wander in. Detection for the Dire is not quite in the proper spot. The Clinks see the courier there? They are going to move in here. Benjez is perfectly stealth. No Observer Sentry will see this pickup. So maybe they get the initiation off properly. But they're going to end up walking. Oh, that actually, Observer just timed out. That was the worst timing possible for the Radiant. Ala on the front line does have BKB and a hood. This guy does not like the magic damage. Is he going to commit the Exorcism? Yes, he will. Infamous really don't want to fight into an Exorcism like this, and well, maybe they don't have a choice because the duel comes in. The damage is huge and the OD's obliterated. Where's everyone else? 1 second stun only on the Lich. He gets insta-crit down, and that's really nice, as well as the coil onto 2 in the background. Dual Scepter on... Oh, that's actually the Legion Commander who's got chased out of there. Looks like the Death Prophet is still in the back. Not able to really help out all that much, but again, they find another opportunity on the Tusk. 2 for 2. And a very similar trade as last time, but you know, the last time wasn't good for Infamous. This time, again, wasn't good for Infamous. The Legion Commander is dying every single time, but that's fine because she's already winning the duels. She doesn't really need anything afterwards. Tower was killed off by the Radiant, not denied. BKB, not used on the Clinks, was not used on the Death Prophet. My bad. She just got caught in the back, and with the coil was not able to do quite as much damage as she would like. But she wasn't taking any damage either because they just obliterated that OD. Now, I'm not really sure why with your tier 2 tower over here, you sit here as the OD without moving. Like, if there's something that is going to guarantee to get you killed off in Dota, it's not moving. Like, if you stop moving in Dota, you die. Especially when you're not moving in a really stupid spot. So, yeah, OD, super dead. And this is the highest net worth hero in Infamous, mind you. They cannot afford to lose that hero. 50 seconds left for Exorcism. Cooldown reduction is at 20. Pretty sure you get that. They should be thinking about how they're going to set up for Roche here. Desolator, next item for Clinks. They can just go for Roche. Alright, I was going to say, like, Exorcism for Roche is probably needed. But if Infamous just aren't going to contest this at all, then yeah, I guess they have all the time in the world. NS is just taking all of that. Legion Commander, pretty durable, of course, with that maxed out ice armor by now. That's going to be Aegis Cheese. Eat up, boys. Eat up maybe on this puck. Chased out by a Lich. Feels bad when your puck gets chased out by a Lich. That's Aegis, that's Exorcism. They've taken all the tier 2 towers. Now it's time to try to break the high ground. Not the easiest thing to do in the world. But Death Prophet, damage, Clinks just being able to confidently land a couple pot shots with the cover of Aegis. Yeah, they could do some damage here. If Infamous seriously fight over this, this is a pretty big chance for Infamous to make a comeback. Kind of prey on the overly aggressive ambitions of Midas. Midas are going to back off right now. Now, if Midas find a pick off on anyone, really, like, they can go for that high ground push, but not quite in time. Everyone in Infamous, you know, bar Benjaz, is pretty scared. And yeah, they're going to keep themselves alive, but they're also not farming in this downtime. Lich, I guess, defending. He's not really needed. Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3. Well, here comes the snowball. It's going towards the golems. He doesn't have any way of getting himself out of here, though, so he's just going to straight die. And at the same time, they catch the puck with the duel. You know, Lich is going to drop a couple Frost Blasts here and there. The creep wave on bottom lane is somehow still pushing. But Infamous, they can't really capitalize off of that. There's no one there to really make sure that tower goes down, and Lich is actually still defending, in fact. Puck is going to buy out, and yeah, OD is going to land 0 orbs from that Hurricane Pike. Easy plays here from Midas. Get kills, force buyback. Perfectly safe in doing so. If they wait for the Desolator, this will be so much easier. Just one Desolator hit is all you need for these ghosts to start shredding. Oh, they also need mana on the Queens. He does have the Soul Ring, obviously, but yeah, in a middle of a fight, the last thing you want to do is run out of mana as the Clinks. Ooh, they see an OD? No, they didn't. They're going to walk past Benjaz. There is a gem on the Kunkka, but he's a little bit too far away. Jump in, coil. That's actually still the Legion Commander. Why do I keep confusing them? Why do they look so identical? The puck is going to get out of there. The Tusk running off to the side. Everyone else from Midas is going to back off after having lost the Legion Commander. Am I crazy? I think I might be a little bit crazy. I keep on confusing the Legion for the Death Prophet. I think it's the helmet. They have the same, like, head type now with this cosmetic. That was indeed the Legion Commander. Second time I did it. Unbelievable. It's like I've never played this game before. Taking down the Legion Commander will get Midas Club off of Infamous's ass for a couple seconds here. But only for a couple. Here we go. X-Torrent on a puck. Will it ever work? X-Torrent on Chaos Knight. That will work. There is a gem here as well. Sick Phantasm dodge? No, not quite. And now the damage from the Clinks. It's going to drop them all to super low HP. Phantasm Illusions will be cleared off in an instant. They will boat just for the rum. Here comes the Tusk. Will get through that boat, but he can't capitalize on Dashka. He's in the corner, and now here comes the Legion. Oh, nice Torrent onto 2. One's going to be imprisoned and saved by Robo, but now Robo's put himself in a little bit of trouble. Well, never mind. He eclipses the Kunkka, takes him out, but still the X-Marks is going to stick. Siphoned up. Blink Dagger, constantly canceled. Jump forward. For the Legion Commander does have the cheese if she needs it and is going to cast it. Ice Blast coming on in, but the OD, he does have a blink. Can he actually get out of here? Crypt Swarm, they're all chasing in the same direction, and they do see him now. They have another Blink Dagger on the Legion, which doesn't have any disables. Nada's going to arrive with the Silence. No Coil deployed just yet. And oh, the OD just gets another Blink up. Is he really going to survive? Looks like he will. Nada, though, maybe not, is going to phase shift. The defensive power of Infamous on display here. But again, they're not returning fire in any meaningful way, so it doesn't really matter in the end. Dominic's going to overcommit with that Snowball. He's run out of defensive options. He's going to go down. Coil finally drops onto 2. Dual Scepter on Death Prophet. A little bit premature. She does still have that BKB. Is just going to wait for the Coil to wear off, then leave. In fact, BKB only one time so far used on the Clinks. And Midas will probably not get quite as much as they would really like. But they don't really lose anything. They do maintain the gem, I believe. Someone had to pick it up. Yeah, Legion has it still. So the loss of the Kunkka there, like one of their lowest net worth heroes, who cares, man? For a CK kill, that's already worth it. Not to mention the additional kills they got afterwards. That was a pretty slick escape from the OD. But again, he just escaped there. Like, he really didn't do anything offensively that was valuable, except for killing off this kind of useless Kunkka. I mean, he already used all his spells, so what else could he have done? Pretty sure he was, like, at no mana also. I mean, he was dead, right? So, you get something. Beggars choosers. We can see Midas, though. They don't really care. They are super confident, and they have a target. Oh, no, OD. I don't think you could trick your way out of this one. He uses his Imprison offensively to farm, and now with the duel, oh my god, just gets crushed. Robo does not have a buyback for 70 seconds, and Midas are going to send the spooky ghosts out. There is no creep wave yet. Here it is. Siege creep come through. And one Desolator shot, I think, still applies the corruption? No, it doesn't. Huh. The more you know. Well, now it does. There's a Desolator effect. Arms just going to BKB for it. These ghosts are, again, shredding. And with no OD, Infamous don't have any damage output. They'll lose the entirety of their mid lane. Jump in from the puck is going to do about nothing. Coil maybe setting up for a little bit more. Benya's not really sure if he wants to go in on this, though. They're still fighting into the Exorcism, which is now going to time out right after Infamous deploy everything. So Infamous get nothing for that Coil. Infamous, are they really pushing out of their base right now? There should be another duel that's right now actually up. They take the tier 3. Obviously, that opens up the door for these shrines. Not really sure if they really need to be Searing Arrow down, but they got him. Benyaz does have a target in sight. It's the Lich. He's going to Glimmer, block a lot of that damage from the Chaos Bolt. There's no True Sight, it seems. He's going to turn out for a Chain Frost. It'll bounce really poorly. No, it's going to bounce back towards the Tusk. It'll be dragged away from the illusions, but still, they are not going to get anything, not even the Lich. And not getting a Lich is not a big deal, but what is a big deal is the fact that they use Phantasm. That is the spell for Benyaz. That is what makes him an actual threat. We saw earlier he just insta-killed a Lich with the Reality Rift. Yeah, now that it's down, that's not going to happen. Midas are just out-tempoing the hell out of Infamous right now. Infamous do have, you know, some of the big ultimates that they need in order to make some sort of miraculous team fight happen. Never want to underestimate Coil. Ice Blast is incredibly powerful, although it is only level 1, which is not exactly impressive. Oh man, this net worth on Wu is that's kind of depressing. But also, perhaps the most effective is this Eclipse from the OD. The Clinks is actually going to be going for a Sheep Stick. And this is mostly an offensive item, so you sheep the enemy and then you just blast them with the arrows. But this is also going to be quite a nice defensive item versus the OD in resisting that Sandy's Eclipse damage. It's a kind of a niche defensive use for that item, but in this particular game, it's actually pretty sick. And he's got it as well. Now, there is somewhat of a concern here for Midas Club. Something to keep in the very back of their minds is that if we mess around for too long, we may not be able to win the super elongated late game up against an OD. That's why we see them, just as they should, constantly setting up for aggressive high ground plays. Now again, one rack's an advantage. This means that they're pretty comfortable. Benya's going to chuck in a stun, 4 seconds. Doesn't do jack versus the Death Prophet, though. Yeah, minimal damage roll, plus she has Hooded Defiance. No more shrines. What's this Roche timer looking like? 150? Most likely Midas, with the racks in advantage, are just going to be 5 manning around waiting for Roche. Benya's pushing forward. There was a gem floating around. It's still on the Legion Commander. It is. She's in a really awkward spot, though. She does have a blink. She just get right back to safety. Smoke is going to be blown. Nada is not going to find any targets despite losing his smoke effect, and will jump out of there. And now the retaliation smoke here. That is not spotted by anything from the Dire. They're going to see the Vortex, know exactly what just happened. They will push out. And Benjaz, this has happened a couple times now. Farming. CK is loving this farm. And then all of a sudden, a million heroes. Duel's coming in with the Sheepstick. Ice Blast lands. Big who cares. And then he's just gone. You know, guys, I've been casting these SA games for SLI for a couple days now. A common theme is that they all end in, like, the weirdest ways possible. Like, this is definitely one of the weirder ones. Just, like, get picked off, no buyback, just GG. Most of the time, it's like, you know, teams lose their base, and then they GG. Or they lose a big team fight, and then they GG. But it seems like in these games, it's like, someone gets picked off, oh, can't win anymore, GG. I mean, to be fair, they were pretty screwed by that point. Like, they didn't really have that much going for them. OD, really, the only way for them to survive in those engagements, but Infamous Young kind of putting up a depressing display in this game. This Lich is, I want to say, going to get banned in the next game because we didn't really see it in the lane, but we definitely saw the after effects as Benjaz did not have the levels necessary to get kills. He did not have the gold necessary to get those items so that he can get kills, and kind of just got picked off the entire game. So Midas Club are going to get a pretty clean first round win on Infamous Young. Now, we've seen Infamous Young play much better than this, guys, so if you're rooting for Midas Club, well, it's not going to be an easy path forward, but Infamous Young, if they keep playing like this, yeah, it's going to be a little bit tough for them. I'm Mike Lore. It's been a pleasure casting these games for you guys. Don't go anywhere. Midas Club versus Infamous Game 2 in just a little bit. Hey guys, there's a Dota 2 patch that's taking a very long time. We only got 8 people in the lobby right now out of the 10 we need. Hey, wait, never mind. We got 9. Hey, we got 10. Maybe we will get this game going after all.
E-gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Five seconds remaining.
Why is Dota never showing?
Dire team.
Where's the Dota? There's the Dota. Okay, I don't know why that is always delayed like that, but here we go, guys. We're in Game 2, Infamous Young, going up against Midas Club Victory. And, of course, Midas Club already with their win and are on the Radiant again. I don't know. It just kind of happened. Either way, I'm Mike Loris, going to be your caster for this game, and there is a lot of support hate. Holy crap. I mean, Lich is going to be banned out because that pretty much destroyed Infamous Young, so that one is, you check that one off. AA still in the pool, as is the Necrophos, which is, whoa, hello, not going to be there just yet. It's an IO Nature's Prophet. Okay, we got ourselves a real draft here. Here we go. Well, first of all, Monkey King, Coddle, Night Stalker, perhaps the easiest ban to make out of the current bans, but Midas Club decided to go for a Kunkka first pick. It did work really well for them in Game 1. That is, of course, a fact. You just watch Game 1, you can see that. But it was also a Kunkka that really didn't hit its stride until the mid-game. Once it did hit the mid-game, he was able to, get his spells up. Level 3, 4 in the X-Torrent combo, of course, get the boat level as well. Yeah, he was landing it, but I really want to see Midas Club this game give some support to the Kunkka and enable him to land their combos. They're going to go for Legion Commander again, and again, Legion Commander worked very well, but I think it only really worked well because of that Lich. We have ourselves more interesting stuff going on in the camp of Infamous Young. Now, Nature's Prophet is not exactly the perfect hero to be up against a Kunkka. That's not exactly perfect. But you know what? You do have global power there. And you know who else is going to give you global power? That IO. So Infamous Young are going to say, screw the regular meta. We're going to do our own thing. And IO definitely is one of those heroes that's, sometimes fully meta and sometimes very niche. I think right now in Dota, some teams will grab the IO and crush with him. And others will just never, ever pick up the hero. Maybe because they just don't have someone who plays it. They don't think it's good, whatever. But I'm interested to see if Infamous Young are going to get any success here. Because the IO is definitely a polarizing hero. And if they're able to pull it off, they're going to be able to run circles around Midas Club. If not, might be a little bit difficult. Midas Club for sure just need a lot of catch. Disruptor as a support hero is absolutely incredible here for the Midas Club side. It's not banned out. You do get the Glimpse power up against IO Partner, and or Nature's Prophet. It also lets you set up for Kunkka combos. A lot of displacement, a lot of, I guess, what should we call it? We'll call it mobility canceling, because whenever you decide you're going someplace, you're glimpsed, you're X-marked, you're not going anywhere anytime soon. Would love to see that pick from the Midas Club side. Alternatively, banned out by the Infamous Young squad. Midas Club are taking their sweet time right now. Gonna take out the Necrophos. IO Necrophos is actually pretty legit. It's not quite as truly classic as an IO Tiny, which is, I think, that's what you see on the cover of the book, right? Like, that's the combo with IO, but it works really, really well. Just the additional movement speed, the additional sustain that you get as Necrophos is pretty redonkulous. Plus, it's a Necrophos that's somehow not picked up in the first phase. It probably is better off being banned out. Take that one out. Sven and the Bloodseeker. I mean, Sven is pretty good at handling Nature's Prophet, but it definitely seems like Infamous Young are preparing for something a little bit different here. I mean, if you're worried about your matchup as Nature's Prophet, like Anti-Mage can do it, Phantom Assassin can clear your guys, Luna can do it as well, so it's not really clear what the Sven is doing in there with the Bloodseeker right now. I want to say they're, I don't know, perhaps they're planning on picking up a Lycan with these bans. That'll give them the Howl, Lycan IO is not quite as powerful as Tiny IO, since Lycan doesn't really need the additional sustain from the IO and the attack speed as much from the overcharge. Again, as much as someone like a Tiny. But it does seem like that's what Infamous Young are going to try to do here, is pick up the Lycan and then have Nature's Prophet with the Howl. It's pretty good. Dogs. That's not quite dogs. Tusk is the pick anyway. And the Tusk in the last game was okay. I mean, Dominic had admittedly a really tough time trying to set up for those kills because his team wasn't really going everywhere as a 5-man squad, and I mean, you do to get this defensive aspect. Again, fantastic up against the Legion Commander, great up against that Kunkka combo as well defensively, but right now the Tusk is in an awkward spot because, you know, last game, if you have a Tusk with an AA, then you are able to set up for cold feet combos. Tusk is able to do additional damage thanks to the Chilling Touch. It's fantastic. Tusk and Io don't really do anything with one another. Like, they're just there. I mean, it's a very potentially defensive support duo from the Infamous Young side. But right now, the Tusk is a little bit more so on an island, and that's even more than what we saw in the last game, which is somewhat of a concern. Midas Club now throwing a little bit of a curveball our way. It's a Jakiro to be banned out. Jakiro's not necessarily going to be a disruptor, which kind of bums me out. I think that still would have been a sick pick. But it is still most likely going to be that secondary support hero along with the Kunkka. And I do like how they're supporting the Kunkka at least a little bit more here. They will have that ice path to answer the relocate. If you see the relocate thing on the ground, just throw some ice on it, throw some fire on it, and you maybe won't like kill them instantly, but at least delaying that initiation with the relocates or being able to set up an ice path on the return relocate. Like, there's a lot of power there from the Midas Club side. Gonna give them a little bit of push as well. The push worked out pretty well for them in the last game. It is seemingly like a little bit of a slower push game, at least from right now, but so far only one core, one support with the push power. They can definitely gear up for a little bit of push. The problem with that strat is that there will be split push galore coming back their way. Jakiro's a very slow pusher, a very slow and steady pusher, and you kind of want fast pushing style up against Nature's Prophet and Io if you can help it. So the Jakiro seems like he'll be just okay right now. They really do have to make him great. And Infamous Young, yeah, I mean, Sven's banned out, Bloodseeker's banned out, I guess. I mean, they do have both these heroes' ways of keeping their targets in place. And I guess that combos pretty well with the Kunkka, but yeah, I thought they were going to set up for that Lycan. Guess not. They're just going to go for some lane dominance in the Viper. The Viper may or may not get help from this Io or Tusk. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be hard to outlane a Viper, period. And Viper with the support of either of those two heroes with an optional Nature's Prophet TP, it's going to be really hard to win that mid lane for Midas Club. I don't care who you are. Now, it is going to work somewhat in Midas Club's favor that Infamous Young, despite having the last pick available to them, as you can tell from this little gray thing, do show off their mid lane matchup right now. So Midas Club will know exactly what they're dealing with from the mid lane, and 9 times out of 10 the Viper pick will be going mid. They will decide to go for a Death Prophet. Again, looking for those timing pushes. Death Prophet worked really well last game along with that Clinks. Venomancer is still in the pool. I mean, there's like so many good heroes nowadays that it's like kind of hard to keep track of every single one that should be banned. And sometimes some get through. Venomancer now will be banned. Midas Club's still looking for their one position hero, and if last game was any indication, they do want to take those towers out early, try to be a little bit more aggressive.
5 seconds remaining.
Infamous Young will have the last pick here. Both sides going for a safe laner. Now, it is of course possible that Midas Club hit the brakes, pick up a farmer like an anti-mage, although I do think it's probably more likely we'll see them pick up something along the lines of a Luna, or one of those super aggressive type heroes. Who else can they go for that's going to be able to take down those towers from the safe lane? Troll's already banned out on their own side. PA is not terrible for sure. You can go for that. Terrorblade? Is Terrorblade good here? Terrorblade's actually nasty here. If Midas Club pick up a Terrorblade, Infamous Young are going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Lone Druid. There we go. Another hero that kind of falls through my mental cracks. Definitely another one of those heroes like Io that some teams will get, some teams won't. But Lone Druid definitely does have push power, that's for sure. Again, a little more of a niche hero in that regard, but still, you do have that bear on the front lines. You will be able to use that bear, who I'm assuming is going to be going for a Radiance type build, to at least alleviate the Nature's Prophet split push, if it does come down to it. But Lone Druid Jakiro is a nasty combo. Love this. You keep the enemy out of lane. You pretty much just lock down the off lane. Nature's Prophet can do lane shenanigans with the Treants, and yeah, that is something that Midas Club are going to have to worry about, but it does seem like they're very similar. They have a very similar game plan to that last game. Midas Club aren't really respecting this IO combo, and so far that hasn't really shown itself right now. How good is the Tiny here? I mean, these are the questions you always have to ask yourself. The classic IO combos. Is an Ursa any good here? Or a CK? CK IO is pretty darn good as well. This is... I'm not really sure about this. I mean, if this was game 1... then I would say, yeah, CK IO, sick combo. You get the Tusk on top, easy kills, especially when you're looking at someone like a Lone Druid who's, very lane control heavy, but also very soft. Benya's running back the CK is, like, mentally something that he's going to have to wrap his head around, and as a team, they didn't play well around that CK in the last game. Now, CK IO is another... one of those classic IO combos that fell off a little bit faster than IO Tiny, IO Jug, Ursa, all those other heroes, but it is still incredibly powerful. You get that, you don't really get the stun anymore from the Reality Rift, which kind of sucks, but still, being able to tether and Reality Rift someone, that hurts like hell, man. That hurts so much. So I think if they can get over the fact that Benjez got kind of stomped in the last game, they'll be able to make this work. Definitely a lot of gank power here. But they will be forced to fight early on. Pause. Oh my god. Oh my god, guys. For the first time ever in a South American game, there is no pause in the beginning. What? What? I'm so confused. I don't know what's happening. Everyone's loading out in their lanes like a normal game of Dota without any stupid pauses in the beginning. It's amazing. Dominic's going to find the Jakiro. And Jakiro's going to go in for the Dual Breath, which does do quite a bit of damage. He's just chilling there. He's baiting. He's just standing there and baiting, and it worked out. Get you baited. Now, there is a Siphon up on the high ground. CK is here with the Bolt. Jakiro is very tanky as a hero, and the Shards will, in fact, fail. 2-second stun. They take down the Jakiro and the Tusk as well. Even trade, but Ben just draws first blood. Now they're on to Wu, it looks like. They have no more Siphon. Wu's going to get a little bit of extra juice here, and another overwhelming odds will get them a twofer. Midas leading in a pretty nice fight off in the bottom lane. What's going on here? We got Nature's Prophet with a squad of goons chasing after all of these heroes, just trying to mess with them a little bit. Loses a couple of those guys. But here comes the Viper now. I'm pretty sure they can just bully these heroes out. Kunkka really isn't good in these type of situations. When the enemies can see you cast that torrent, you have to be super next level if you're going to land that. Now we can use it to cover the bounty rune, I suppose. But the Lone Druid is pretty far away. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Nada lifted up. Bounty rune claimed by Nada, but now body blocked. There is an Orb of Venom here. Bear is a little bit slow, though, compared to Nature's Prophet, who went boots first. And Arms is going to say, okay, you can get out. I'll just kill your friends. Up on top lane. What the hell's going on here? Dual Breath again. Landing onto everyone. 2-second stun, though, onto the Legion Commander. One more tap. That'll get the kill. And it's 0 minutes in, and we got 4 kills, guys. This is Dota that I want to watch. That's for damn sure. Let's take a quick look. Who actually got those bounty runes? 1 for yellow and 3 for the Dire. All right, so Midas Club, though they do get first blood, they end up dropping an additional bounty rune to the infamous young side. But we have ourselves an interesting lane setup on this top lane for sure. Let's go over this more boring lane. Viper versus Death Prophet. Definitely a lane where they can kill each other, but mechanically it's a lane where both sides, if they really want to, just can keep safe and farm. Bottom lane, Nature's Prophet does have to watch out for entangles, but until then, he's fine. Dominic, I don't know why he's taking so much damage going that route. Going around the trees like that as Tusk is something he's not going to die for, but something he's severely going to get punished for. And we have a very similar lane setup. In fact, it's pretty much the exact same lane setup for Midas in this top lane. Legion Commander, the kind of tanky frontline hero, and then just a little bit of backup right behind her. Now, there's a big, big difference here between a Jakiro and a Lich. Jakiro cannot ensure that they get an experience advantage by killing off those range creeps. It is much more difficult to keep your Legion Commander safe as a Jakiro. Dual Breath is, it's okay. I mean, you get a little bit of attack slow, but it's not really going to be life-saving, especially when you have no mana. Especially when you get pulled back with the Reality Rift, slowed down, and now caught in the shards. Jakiro is going to get the purged off. Legion Commander looking for someone to hit, but wanders through the tether. And I think ZRS, well, a little bit more heal, is going to go down with the additional movement speed granted by that IO. This Legion just struggling to find anyone to hit. And yeah, that's the big difference. Jakiro has to be sticking in the lane, cannot be like camping out here as a Lich, as we saw in the last game. And Jakiro's strengths really don't come about until we have level 3, level 4. And Nature's Prophet, ooh, got out of that bottom lane. So Infamous will have a lot more punching power in this top lane compared to last game. They will be able to get these kills, and they will also be winning this mid lane. There is a very similar rotation. Dominic made that exact same rotation at around the same exact time. Unfortunately, is not going to find a courier to snipe or anything like that. Yeah, Viper versus Death Prophet is fine for the Viper. He'll farm up as much as he wants. Death Prophet Siphon should keep her safe. Double damage rune, pretty nice as well. But pretty much overall, these lanes are looking a lot better for Infamous Young than in the last game. Let's see what pressure they can apply to the Nature's Prophet. X marks Torrent. At least you can land this versus the Nature's Prophet compared to the Puck of the last game. But really, they don't want to go for it until they have a little bit more in the spells. They are going to try to go for this Legion Commander one more time. Heals and trying to right-click trade with Wu. It's kind of bold, although the damage stacking up on Dominic, forced into the snowball, is going to bring the CK there as well. There is no more spell here for the Legion Commander, but a huge dual breath lands onto everyone. Will be picked off first. Art's fighting to the bitter end, will survive. And Dominic is at no HP up in the trees. Spotted by the Jakiro. Dual breath will land perfectly. Liquid Fire is coming around in just a couple seconds if they even need it. He'll just chop through the trees, get a triple kill. How did Jakiro get all 3 of those last hits is beyond me. But I'll tell you what, that is not the plan up on this top lane. This Legion Commander, again, refusing to go down. And oh, bottom, we got a Nature's Prophet again in a little bit of trouble. X marks, where you going, bro? He's going nowhere. He's going to go down. Shards will come in, trap Dashka to take him down to 50 HP, 60 HP. That was actually a lot of HP being, damage being done by these treants. It doesn't matter, but still, it's a thought that counts. But that Dual Breath, man. Dual Breath, casted twice there, I believe. Hit onto like 3 heroes every single time. Dashka now in a little bit of trouble. Shards will be off the mark, but the Snowball can't miss with that. Arm's going to do what he can here, but this is not a lone druid with Entangle, so as far as offensive power is concerned, they really don't want to be getting into a full-scale engagement until he has that passive on the bear. 6-4 and Infamous at least strike back somewhat in that bottom lane, but that top lane disaster is incredibly bad. They don't get the Legion Commander. They give the Jakiro about infinite gold. And Wu does not have any regen. This better be his. Okay, it is his. Now this lane is going to get a little bit more controllable by the Infamous Young side. But with no additional sustain there, the IO's Tether really didn't do that much. Like, IO Tether is not going to be impressive unless you have something to put through that Tether healing-wise, and he actually just had a Clarity. So, yeah, that was a long, drawn-out engagement where the sustain that should have been there just wasn't. Now they're going to try to go for this mid lane. Tala is going to get all of the spells dodged by that Snowball. And Kunkka rotating in along with that Nature's Prophet. Towards top lane, though, Art once again is just in a man fight, getting a couple lucky procs, but this time the bottle making the big difference here. Ice Path going to land onto the IO. And it seems like Jakiro should be fine. No, there's actually full mana here on the CK. He's fast as well. There's a 1-second bolt. There's Tusk coming in, and that will get 2 kills up on top. Jakiro's 5-minute killing spree has been ended, guys. Alright, hunting for Wu. That wouldn't have even gotten the kill. Picking a fight with the IO is a good idea if he doesn't have bottle. Nada on the bottom lane, though, is in a little bit of trouble. There is no X marks Torrent. They already used it. No Entangle either. Never lucky. Dashka is gonna get trapped. Oh, he needs some help. Lone Druid, dig him out. Start digging. He digged a little bit, but not really. Dashka's just dying right now. Nada's gonna show himself one more time. Kunkka is like so confused as to what he should be doing. Sprout will actually give him a lot of cover. Hide. Don't move. The Nature's Prophet vision is based on movement. Okay, well that just wasn't ever gonna happen. But over towards top lane, they do take down Wu. do a lot of damage to that Tusk as well, taking very little damage on their own heroes. This game is absolute pure chaos, and I love it. As I was getting into a lot of engagements, has died 3 times though. That is fairly costly. Shards will block off the Jakiro slightly. The Torrent will be completely off, and a huge Wrath of Nature comes in. This should be the dragon's death. And maybe even a little bit more, as Nada's going to wall himself to block the passageway, forcing Dashka up the stairs, pulled back into a reality rift, and somehow Nada will take the last hit. Not really sure how, but they do get him. They are really rallying off of that really kind of mediocre game from the CK in the last game 1. Benjaz is getting a lot of action. This is exactly what you want to do as a CK. You want to be fighting 24/7. Reality Rift is so OP early on. And if you have this extra mana sustain from the IO, you can chase forever. Like, 1 bottle charge will pretty much top you off if you're tethered. Nada, drained out. Phase on the bear is active. First hit entangle? Sometimes lucky from arms. Well played. He's been clearly practicing his Lone Druid. And now they get the ghosts out as well. There are a lot of creeps here. And they'll be very quickly dealt with. Swarm being cast. And the bear is going to get a little bit extra juice thanks to this Battle Cry? Yeah, it's called Battle Cry. Do I know my obscure ability names or what? This tower is going to get ground down. There's much needed gold here for Midas Club. And we can see, much like in last game, Robo not dealing with any of that, is just going to be pushing the towers in the meantime. But Viper Strike going to land onto the Jakiro, who teleported in and got surrounded by the Nature's Prophet. Very easily killed off. This Jakiro, though, he is level 5, which is respectable at this stage in the game. Still is just actively feeding. Although there is no CS on Tusk or the IO. They're going to set up an X marks Torrent on the Viper, but he's maxed out in the Corrosive. He has a lot of backup here as well. Best they can hope for is a Deny. They have level 4 Siphon, but Death Prophet doesn't have a lot of mana. Deny's not going to happen. Dashka can't dig himself through this. Snowball is going to be used to cancel a TP. They also catch Tala with the shards. I don't know if that was the plan, but it worked out pretty darn well if it was. He's going to get 1 Siphon, 2 Siphon. Ice Path going to give him a little bit more cover now. It's actually 2 Siphons total right now, but Tala doesn't have any mana. He's just short. If he had a couple of swarms, he'd be able to get pretty much all these kills, and now the Sprout goes off again onto the Jakiro. Another Siphon does come out as NS is going to arrive with a big nuke, but there's no one to get the finishing blows here. He's going to try to charge in, but he can't really find anyone. Duels up the Tusk, is going to get the kill, but will pay for it with his life. And I think that should just about be it. This game is madness. What the hell? Well, I mean, Lone Druid is chilling on the bottom lane. Again, the tower falling on the bottom lane really helps Midas Club since they are pretty consistently losing in all of these fights. I mean, Infamous, they have pretty much geared up for exactly this, just super early fighting, non-stop. And unfortunately for the DP, just lack of mana. I mean, DP is definitely a mana-hungry hero. Part of the reason why we see Yule Scepter as the first item so frequently picked up on Death Prophet. Obviously, it's insane with the Siphon and the Exorcism, but it is also just much needed mana regeneration. Right now, she's got Jack, and Infamous are running the map. Their global power isn't even at its max capacity. The IO does not have that relocate. It is just the Nature's Prophet, who, if he teleports into a bad spot, can very easily die, but always just finding one random dude out and about by themselves. It's going to give Infamous a nice little lead and position themselves for a little bit of an aggressive play here. Everyone and their mom, though, is going to walk over this Obs. There is a bear still pushing in the mid lane. That is kind of being defended by the Nature's Prophet, but he can only do so much up against this now demolished bear. Still the bear, though. He may have phase boots. Still, Midas is not up yet. Not going to be the slowest Midas in the world, but for sure in this type of game, at this speed, you need that Midas ASAP, mostly because you need to get your next item ASAP. He would love to have the Radiance, again, to counter that eventual split push from the Infamous Young side, but again, in this pace of game, you may want to itemize a little bit earlier than that. You may be forced into this game state where you need to spend your gold as a Lone Druid because you need to be involved in the fights. Midas is right around the corner for him, so he's going to get a lot more cash. Leech Commander did take down the Tusk earlier, so 10 damage, 11 minutes in is pretty darn good. He really is scared, though. You could tell. He really does not want to go out. He just wants to farm somewhere and help with this Entangle first hit on the Nature's Prophet. Unfortunately for Legion Commander, her allies kill way too quickly to get dual damage. But still, it's a much-needed kill here for Infamous, and it looks like Jakiro is going to decide that retreating away from the Tier 1 tower is the best course of action. I would agree. The tower is already dead. But yeah, if he catches you with the Reality Rift, you are just screwed. As pretty much anyone, actually. He now has an armlet. I think he had this at like 14, 15 minutes in the last game, so we got a lot faster. And there's a Tusk here, guys. Snowball towards the creeps. Oh, he didn't get down there. I thought he would go down there, but Snowball and Shards are both very finicky spells in how they behave. He probably wouldn't have escaped even if he did get down. These type of pickoffs for Midas are actually incredible. The ones where they don't do anything and just kind of happen into some kills. That's going to catapult the Lone Druid not only into Midas, but also 1,000 gold towards that relic. Although Dashka got no TP, and he's so boned right now. 2 second stun, pulled back in, and obliterated. Where did they relocate from? Probably somewhere up here, right? Is there anyone to tell on the minimap? Oh, thank you for pausing. This actually lets me check. I don't see anything on the minimap. I really think there should be for casters. Like, we get Roshan as like a little thing over here. We should be able to get a little portal back. Maybe it was mid? Well, either way, they kill off the Kunkka. Quite frankly, a fully expendable hero, so it's not really going to bother Midas Club all that much. Even Jakiro's deaths, I mean, he is the most expendable hero, but he has 2 points Liquid Fire. Maybe not super impressive for 13 minutes in, but you don't really need that much Liquid Fire to take down a tower when your bear is doing this much damage. Battle Cry, Liquid Fire, just slowing down that attack speed. It's not like you need to preserve your bear. He's never really going to be in a lot of trouble. Until, 20, 30 minutes. It will be an even tower trade, though. Nature's Prophet, his Goon Squad got Robo. Maxed out Nether Toxin, gonna jack up his agility by quite a bit with this build. They're gonna keep on going. Macropyre is gonna torch the creep wave. And by creep wave, I mean these 3 creeps. And this is how great Macropyre is, guys. He Macropyred, used an ultimate for a creep wave, and got 3 CS. The tower got the last hit. Man, what a garbage spell. Macropyre, man. Now this is a good spell. Look at that. He got all of them. They're all like little baby treants, not real creeps, to be fair. But TP coming in. Benjaz is gonna yank back the bear. But Reality Rift does not do any damage, so you can yank back the bear out of it. Now Dominic is going to dodge the X marks. He's going towards the Kunkka, it looks like, but he has a lot of backup. Silence can land onto 2 heroes, preventing the chain stun. Duel goes out onto the Tusk with the Crypt Sword coming in. They'll kill him off. It will be a 1-for-1 trade. Benyaz not too healthy. Does not have the ability to armlet toggle easily with that Siphon on him, but does have some help here coming in from Wu. Jump forward from Art, though. Does have his Blink Dagger. And he will get the kill, but at the cost of his own life. Did not anticipate this Viper coming in. I don't know where Death Prophet's going. Going towards her allies who are finally starting to come in, but it's a little bit too slow. Another Dual Breath does land. Arms is here, but he doesn't really have that much offensive power. Does land a root onto the Jakiro. The Sprout is going to be broken by the Macropyre, which will again do like 10 damage total. And how they're going to chase in for Nada. Entangle? Entangle? Never Entangle, never lucky. The Lone Druid showing up. And ultimately, not going too terribly for Midas. Certainly could be a lot better, though. Again, the only heroes they pick off are the expendable ones for Infamous. Losing the Death Prophet there. Losing the Legion Commander, even though they do get her a little bit of extra dual damage, is costly. As they wasted a lot of time trying to hit this CK. And he's okay taking hits. CK is rather tanky with that armlet. If you don't kill him off, he's going to easily shrug that one off. Can they kill off Lone Druid through Savage Roar? He is going to get clipped by the entire Tusk combo. Savage Roar only lands onto the Tusk. And they'll take him down in an instant. And they also have found another in the Jakiro. He's pretty screwed. They also find the Legion, deciding to help the friendly Jakiro. Bad idea. They'll lose all of them. Infamous strike back in a big way, and Midas Club are just bleeding heroes at this point. Reality Rift IO, man. Powerful stuff. Like right now, Death Prophet can actually be killed off. If they just teleport in on her with the relocate, I'm pretty sure she's just dead. Like, teleport right here. They're not doing it yet, but they have Tusk moving in. It's gonna happen, guys. Why are they not going? I guess Benjaz just wants to farm. I mean, Tala is gonna run into a Tusk. This is really a Tusk, CK, IO, and Nature's Prophet, and here comes the portals. Now you're thinking with portals. Misses the silence. They got her. And the portal looks like it's in a pretty safe spot. I mean, there's no way that these two heroes can kill off an IO and a CK. They can kill off an IO, but I don't even know if they can, actually. Just the two of them. The boat does quite a bit of damage. Maybe they can. Infamous, they are not done yet. Smoking up once again. I think there's a Shadow Blade on the CK Courier, but they've some completely surrounded arms. Again, the Savage Roar only lands onto one. Phantasm Illusion, and this bear's pretty tanky, but there's way too many heroes here. Not a chance. Overwhelming Odds does a little bit. Meantime, Robo is just pushing this bottom lane. Random treants in the trees hiding will come out and help him. Where's that Macropyre? He needs to clean out this creep wave. One day, Macropyre will be an amazing spell. Till then, yeah, till then it's just Jakiro, who's kind of at the mercy of his friends to make sure that ultimate works well. Or stupid enemies, that's good too. If they're stupid enough to stay in Macropyre, this is pretty good. Robo is just pushing this one. Looks like he's by himself, but there are quite a few heroes right around the corner. Not gonna push it too far. It's pretty tough for Midas Club to win these fights. It does seem like this is turning into a game where they have to more and more rely on these AoE ultimates or poor positioning from Infamous. If they land a boat on 3-4 heroes, somehow save a lone druid or something like that from initiation, they still have the damage and team fight necessary to take these fights. But the way Infamous are playing is just so safe. Like, you could see, like, on this bottom lane, Nature's Prophet, or Death Prophet rather, just pushing by herself. Now, you could have killed her just instantly at any stage there, but they waited until Pink got into position to make sure that she didn't have any backup right around the corner. Benjaz does have the Shadow Blade up, and this is going to be a surprise to Midas Club. They do know that he's going to go for it, but I don't know if they can save him here. Ice Path is going to come in, slow down the CK. And Dashka not walled by the shards. One more poison attack. Wow, we'll get the kill. Also Snowball off to the side. No shards here. It'll just be a Kunkka going down. Phantasm wasn't used there. That was just basic spells here from Infamous. I guess a Wrath of Nature was used. Not a big deal. If anyone shows their face from the Midas side, they're going to be in for some trouble. This is desperation right here. Lone Druid just hiding with his main guy and putting his bear into the creep wave to farm. You gotta do what you gotta do, but sooner or later, Infamous are gonna come knocking. Right now, they're gonna set up for Roche. It's going down mighty quick. Midas Club, to their credit, are making the right play, but it's gonna be a little bit too late. Benjaz is gonna once again find a target. It's the Kunkka. He's gonna pop up his illusions and annihilate him. Boat coming in. Way too late, and there's a Snowball. This is maybe a little bit too far. But they're not even going to look to fight this because they know that to the south there are reinforcements coming in. Tala, he's safe, he's gone. I'm not sure if this Legion can make a similar escape. Doesn't even have enough mana for a TP, and now she's dead. It's absolute slaughter in favor of Infamous. Man, this is tough, man. Like, every single time they lose these heroes, it's like, what the hell do they do for the next fight? There have been, I think, there's one fight where they use the Death Prophet ultimate, and that's powerful and everything, but it's not going to dig you out of this scenario, especially when your Jakiro dies. Got him. Infamous, if they get a gem or just keep sentries up everywhere, like, so easy to just ride this game out, just map control-wise. Sprout is being cast. Looks like it's on the bear. Does not have recall either. He hit it beforehand. Can Nature's Prophet kill off this bear? This Quelling Blade, so probably not. I would say no, but you never know. I'm just trying to think of what Midas Club can possibly do to get back into this. I mean, their Radiance is kind of nearby for the Lone Druid, but Radiance is kind of countered by the CK and his Shadow Blade. And by that I mean, like, the way Radiance brings you back to this game is by slowly burning down side lanes and kind of just playing like a Nature's Prophet, except as Lone Druid. But it's very feasible that we see the infamous side just camp out and just always gank the bear. It's the only thing they're going to be getting, like, easily. It's probably more difficult to get heroes as Midas Club lose map control, but I mean, Midas Club will also not be getting gold in that time, so Infamous aren't going to be too upset about that. So even this Radiance timing is not going to do all that much. They need a boat, man. They just need a fat boat, and it needs to be layered with a macro pyre. They need to stop bleeding out with these heroes. The list goes on and on as to what they need to be doing right now. Losing arms here is pretty bad. There is a relocate, and he is spotted. I'm pretty sure he's dead here, right? Walrus Punch, shards to wall off the stairs, perhaps. 3-second stun. And they do Savage Roar. Benjaz slowing it down a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The bear's doing some pretty decent damage to Wu, actually. Not quite enough damage. He's going to return to a pretty safe spot. A-okay. Lone Druid still not at that Radiance, and the rest of the team cowering in their base in the meantime. Now, there is just a Viper here. I guess Viper IO, but they missed the Torrent. First of all, that's not good, and they lose the tower without putting any sort of resistance up. The map is closing very quickly. Just look at this farm discrepancy. Like, this is not good, man. Once CK gets a heart, I'm not sure how they kill him. I wonder if he's actually going to go for a heart here, if he just has it chilling in quick buy. I'm pretty sure he's going to go for a heart, so yeah, he's got 2200 HP, with a lot of armor, with an IO behind him, who, by the way, has Mechanism coming. And they also have to deal with another 2000 HP hero in the form of Viper, through Snowball. You know, good luck, man. I don't really know how that's possible. They just don't have enough damage. Even if, like, Lone Druid picks up a Daedalus that spawns right here, like, it's still not going to be enough damage. This was kind of a bold move from Midas Club to go for the exact same lane setup as last game, with the Jakiro Legion Commander dual lane up against this CK. Oh, Savage Roar will cover the retreat, so no one's gonna die. That's kind of good, I guess. Bear, where's your relic? Where's your Radiance? 200 gold off. Benjaz is all alone on top lane. He knows that the enemy is just way too scared to go for him. Like, they could have probably gone for him and killed him, but they're too scared. They don't know who's behind him. They don't have enough vision. And if they do get that kill, it's going to be slow. Like, he will not get insta-gibbed. It is very likely that he is able to, if he wants to, put up his Phantasm. So, at that point, like, say goodbye, Jakiro. He's screwed. You guys believe in the comeback? I'm not too optimistic. Facing down a 14k lead is huge. But we've seen teams make really bad plays in the past, such as pushing forward with only one hero. That would be a bad play if that one hero wasn't a Viper with an Aegis. They do Torrents. They're trying to defend on all fronts. But if anyone gets slightly out of position, a Reality Rift will end the fun. And now they're pushing on another front. Oh my god, look at that army. Send in the Macro Pyre. We need it here. They're losing towers on every single lane. They're going to be losing heroes in every single lane. Well, they do Savage Roar and save top. They save the Jakiro as well. But can't they save Tala? Because this Jakiro is doing some serious deeps. Ghost Scepter is up and will be fine. Of course, top lane, though, the Reality Rift and find the Lone Druid. Duel is in onto the CK, and it looks like they won't kill him. Io is going to yank him out. He'll be just fine. Nada's going to jump right into the thick of things. With the help of the Viper, they'll start cleaning house. This is going to be a full wipe for sure. Or not. Maybe Legion Commander will get out, but she's all alone, and this looks like game. None of these heroes have buyback. Charge. Wow. Applause. Charge. I mean, they've taken down 2 tier 3s. They'll take down, odds are, like, at least a lane and a half of racks right now. Exorcism was still not used there. Like, she just got, like, 4-shot by the Viper. And credit to Midas. They are trying. Never give up, never surrender. But now Benjez has the heart of Tarrasque. So he has 3,300 HP. 8 seconds, and the Death Prophet will be back. But 8 seconds, the Death Prophet will be staring down 2 racks disadvantage. They will catch the Nature's Prophet. That's kind of nice. And Infamous are going to continue this fight, though. Ice Path is really good, but they really need to get on top of the CK and the Viper. They're going to separate them both, land the boat onto the CK. Io does not have a relocate this time, but is still going to jump in. Try with the tether. Juice him back up with the mechanism. He's refusing to go down. Shards will be thrown in as well, and Benjaz will make a clean escape. This will cost Wu his life, but it's an Io. Literally, who cares? And, okay, there's, yeah, people dying in the back. Viper's still here, and he's going to get pulled back and killed off. But these kills are just so inconsequential. Like, they get the kills, they're still facing down 18k deficit. And Benja still isn't done yet. 3 seconds done. Here comes the reality rift. And what an ugly reality it is. Everyone in their mom is buying back. But it doesn't seem like the rating are getting quite enough. The IO is going to buy back as well and return, trying to give Benjaz a little bit extra gas here. Another bolt will kill out the Legion. She bought back as well. They sprout the bear, who has a chop, but is still going to get pulled back in and butchered. There's no bear here, so Lone Druid is now a 400 net worth hero. Feels bad, man. Benjaz is restoring a lot of health, by the way. Like, heart is pretty nice. He's going to kill off the Jakiro. You know, pretty standard stuff. Everyone's slowly rotating in. Nature's Prophet bounces back, fills up the gas tank, comes back with a Dragon Lance because why not? Honestly, that item could be anything at this point. And he has 12, 1, and 11, and the Viper on his team has even more farm. Does he have an item coming?
Radiant's bottom
Oh, no, that's a Diffusal Blade. But I mean, like, they can't kill these heroes. They spent, like, all their buybacks also, and they spend their boat, which ordinarily is not a big deal. But this is a pretty big opening for Infamous to just end the game right now. I mean, it's not like they need to hit a timing necessarily. They're just that powerful. They could even wait for Roche if they want to. I'm pretty sure that's not the correct plan. They'll take down Shrines. Why not? What's there to be scared of?
Radiant's top shrine has fallen.
Here comes the surprise. There's a sentry. Oh, this is an observer, actually. Never mind. Benjaz is fully stealthed up. Plus, he has an eye with relocate just in case he ever becomes close to death. They have that get out of jail free card. Not to mention a blink snowball at this point. And a Diffusal Blade, which is mostly tailored right now to counter this Ghost Scepter. Here comes Benjaz. He's going to find Tala. Phantasm. The Ice Path is going to make quite a nice wall. Tala is going to Ghost Scepter and try to get out of here. Benjaz looking at the Reality Rift, does not get rid of that Ghost fast enough. And now he's in the front by himself. Heart is holding, though. Gets dueled up, but gets immediately yanked out by the Io. No fun allowed. In the meantime, Robo is playing serious Dota in the back, killing off objectives. That's Megas, by the way. And the Io should be returning with a pretty pissed off CK shortly. No, it's just the Io. Io, what a trooper. Is he gonna die here? He better die. Yeah, Robo's killing off fools in the back end in the meantime. Art's down. They're taking down the bear. GG is called. The game has been over for like 10 minutes now. But never give up, never surrender. 40 to 18, and Infamous absolutely throw Midas in the dumpster. That's more of the Infamous Young that I was expecting. They played really well in the previous series I've seen of them, and it seems like that Lich might have just thrown them for a loop. Doesn't matter, guys. That's why it's a best of 3 format. You actually get a couple more chances. to make those plays and, you know, try to recover. And I would say that this has been a pretty good recovery off of game 1. Guys, that means there's going to be a game 3. That means I'm not going to be able to eat dinner. Feels bad, man. But it's okay, because if the games are as entertaining as action-packed as this one, I'm sure I'll survive. I'm Mike Loris, and I'll be back in a little bit for game 3 between Midas Club, Victory, and Infamous Young.